Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true.
Business as usual in Western Jamaica as cabbies stay on the job. It is business as usual with taxi operators in the western end of the country so far, despite an announcement that there would be an island-wide withdrawal of services to press the government to offer an amnesty on overdue traffic tickets. It appears the call to strike did not go out to some cabbies outside of the corporate area. People working, because I went out this morning and I look, and persons are going about their business taking passengers, President of the St. James Taxi Association Dan Chance told reporters. Over in Hanover, no disruptions were reported. In Trelawney, there are reports that Holland High School has moved classes online apparently as a precautionary measure. There were no reports of cabbies withdrawing their services. There were no reports of service disruption in St. Anne as well. Bring back my gun. Member of Parliament for Kingston Eastern and Port Royal, Philip Powell, is appealing to the person who stole his licensed firearm to use the present gun amnesty to hand it over to the police. Powell, the leader of the opposition business in the House of Representatives, told reporters that one evening in early July he was headed home, having dropped off his close protection officer, when he had to make an emergency stop in the Upper St. Andrew community of Hope Pastures. I stopped for less than 8 minutes, and by the time I came out, I saw that the back window of my vehicle was smashed, and when I rushed to the car, I saw that the bag which had it in my pouch with my firearm was gone. The bag was on the floor of the vehicle because that is where I would normally keep it when my security person is driving the vehicle, said Paulwell. He added that he reported the theft to the police immediately and gave a statement to the Firearm Licensing Authority FLA. According to Paulwell, he supports the gun amnesty introduced by the government and wants people with illegal guns, including his own, to turn them in through whatever means. The amnesty opened on Saturday, November 5th, and is slated to end midnight on Saturday, November 19th. Under the amnesty, illegal guns can be handed over to a sub-officer or senior sub-officer on duty at any police station, any designated officer at the FLA location, or to an attorney at law or pastor on behalf of an individual seeking the amnesty. I am urging everybody to take in the illegal guns, including that person or persons who would have been involved in the stealing of my own firearm in early July. I am saying to them, take back my gun and give it to the authority. It is a very old firearm. I have had it for more than 20 years, added Paulwell. With the police investigating the disappearance of his firearm and a possibility that he could face criminal charges, Paulwell was adamant that he was not careless. You know these things? They are normally seen as negligence, but I wasn't negligent. I was dealing with an emergency. I locked my vehicle, rushed inside, and when I came back the window was smashed, declared Paulwell. Under Section 54 of the Firearms Prohibition, Restriction and Regulation Act 2022, the holder of a firearm permit shall report that if it is lost or stolen within 24 hours after the holder discovers the loss or theft to the police and to the FLA. A person who, without reasonable excuse, fails to make a report within 24 hours commit an offense. Section 74 of the Act indicates that the holder of a firearm permit should ensure that each firearm and all ammunition are safely stored in accordance with such standards as said be prescribed so that no other person can gain access to the firearm or ammunition. Farewell to one of the finest daughters of our country. St. Kingston Technical High School KT student Michelle Campbell, who was a member of the Jamaica Combined Cadet Force, was on Sunday remembered in a paramilitary-style funeral service held at King's Chapel Seventh-day Adventist Church in Kingston as a leader with an unwavering love for the Cadet Corps. Campbell's cantis was draped with the national flag, and her cadet insignia belt and beret are laid on top. She was dressed in her khaki denim uniform with her half-staff badge. The funeral service, which began at 10 a.m. and lasted for approximately 3.5 hours, was filled with scores of mourners, including relatives, friends, and schoolmates who came out to pay their final respects. During the eulogy, Campbell's aunt Nicole Robinson said the teen had an intense love for the JCCF, and although she participated in numerous extracurricular activities at KT, she never ceased to express her love for being a cadet. The aunt also spoke adorable of the bond that Michelle had with her little baby sister Lola. Cadet was all she talked about. At home, Michelle was a mentor, teacher, guardian, and a cook for her siblings, helping mommy while she was at work, especially with little Lola. Michelle loved her sister. You would never see one without the other. Lola's favorite place to be was riding off Mishka's back, Michi taught her baby sister everything her mother had taught her. She can bloom into a gorgeous young lady, the envy of any girl and drew the admiration of any boy. One in particular was Stephen. He became her best friend and never left her side. He was always there. Another friend was Gabby. The famous trio would talk about life and future plans. Like every other teenager, life now had its challenges balancing school, home, friends, and all that came with it. Michigan became a member of the Home Economics Club, the chess club, the cadet corps, and she also loved playing football, Robinson said of her beloved niece. Campbell was stabbed to death at her school by another female student on September 29. This student, who is accused of stabbing Campbell, was subsequently taken into police custody and charged with murder. The weeping of her friends and other students, which started on the day of Campbell's death, spilled over to Sunday's service. In the meantime, Second Lieutenant Tajay Palmer, who had headed the cadet program at KT since 2020, described Campbell as one of his best. He told reporters that she was capable in carrying out her duties as a cadet and that she always displayed good behavior, caused him to have every confidence in her. Miss Conn was one of my senior cadets. She was responsible for training. I could depend on her to conduct training, supervise the cadets, the recruits, and report back to me. Her good behavior caused the younger cadets to look up to her and be motivated. It is just unfortunate what happened, and we are just here to send her off. In delivering the sermon, Pastor Holland Thompson charged all stakeholders in the education system to put hands, heart, and budget together to make a difference by fixing what is wrong with Jamaican youths. School is for learning, not for stabbing, crime, and violence. School is to break us into being good citizens of Jamaica, land we love, and what we have seen and experienced in this nation as a trend, so that we have to have added security on campuses, and that is not acceptable. The Bible says Jesus wept, and I believe that Jesus is weeping as we are gathered here to say farewell to one of the finest daughters of our country, and so I am weeping. The blood is the life, and her blood supply was cut off from a vital organ. Can you imagine that the brain that the Lord gave her to think was shut down because of another? Her heart refused to operate because of the act of another. We're seeing brother rising up against brother, sister against sister, student against student. It must stop because we build under the values of Christian principles. The pipe is broken and the water is broken and the water is dripping, and unless we do something about it, it will be a bill to pay that we will not be able to pay. The funeral, however, ended in celebration with a marching band playing for the recessional. Campbell's body was interred at the Sunset Burial Park in Shooters Hill in St. Andrew.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the